recording this and sharing my screen with you. Let me just do that. Great. And we'll switch to the slideshow. And what we're going to talk about today is Blackwood, and in particular, use of it, correct use of it, and misuse of it. My old bridge teacher used to accuse people of sometimes being a Blackwood abuser. And it is a convention that is often misused. And I want to talk about how it should be used and how it shouldn't be used. So Blackwood is probably, apart from Stamen, the most common convention that everyone learns and everyone plays. And it's used when you're looking for a slam, when you think you have the combined values for a slam, but want to check you're not missing two aces before bidding a small slam. And there are three very common mistakes with it. One is launching into Blackwood when you're not quite sure whether you have the values for a slam between you and your partner. Another is when you have the values for a slam and you find out you're missing one ace, stopping at the 5 level. That's another very common mistake. And the third very common mistake is when you find out you're missing an ace, going on with 5 no trump to ask for kings. So if you're missing an ace, there's never any point asking for kings, because a bid of 5 no trump commits you to the 6th level anyway, and you only bid 5 no trump if you're thinking of looking for a grand slam. So those are the most common mistakes I see, and we're going to have a look at some examples of this in a moment. So to start off with, I've got a poll question. I've got a couple of polls for you this afternoon. And the question for you here is, what do you think he should respond? Your partner West has opened 1 heart and you've got 18 points. So you might be thinking we're in slam territory with possibly 30 or more points between us. But the question is, what do you think he should respond? So I'm going to launch that poll in a moment, and I'd like you to pick one of the responses. Okay, I'm going to end the poll there and share the results with you. And the majority here went for 3 diamonds, 44%. 2 diamonds were chosen by 31%. 1 person went for 4 hearts, and 3 people went for 4 no trump. And let's switch back to the slideshow. Well, let's go through some of the options here. 4 hearts is clearly a mistake here. Your partner doesn't necessarily have more than 4 hearts, or so you don't want to bid 4 hearts there. Also, 4 hearts is a shutout bid, really, a direct raise to the 4 level, so you don't want to do that. The thing on this hand is you don't really know where you're headed for on this hand. It could be you're headed for possible slam in hearts or in diamonds, or even no trump perhaps. And although this hand is suitable for a jump to 3 diamonds, that would be a forcing bid showing a good 5 card or longer diamond suit. I think it's much better to just bid a quiet 2 diamonds on this hand, because you want to find out a bit more from your partner. In particular, if they show that they've got a long heart suit, then you probably want to be playing in hearts rather than in diamonds. So I think 2 diamonds is the best bid here. Your partner doesn't know you've got such a strong hand. They will assume you've got 10 or more points, and they will just bid normally. That 2 diamond bid is, of course, 100% forcing and use suit by responder. And if perhaps your partner bids 2 hearts, you now know that they've got at least a 5 card heart suit and that you have a fit in hearts. So once you've done that, now is the time to launch into Blackwood for no trump. And if your partner bids 5 hearts, that shows 2 aces. Now you're missing 3 aces here, but your partner's got 2 of them, and you don't really mind which one is missing, whether it's a heart, a diamond, or a club. In all cases, you will probably be okay in 6 hearts, and that's where you should end the auction. And if your partner has a hand like this, a minimum hand with at least 5 hearts, you can see, I hope, that 6 hearts is a pretty good contract there. You're only going to lose 1 club, and after you've drawn trumps, you'll be able to cash your diamonds and discard any loser. Sorry, you're only going to lose 1 club, yes, I said, and then you can run the diamonds after you've drawn trumps. Any comments or questions on that? You're all happy with that? So I think 3 diamonds is a possible response, but I think you want to be playing in hearts rather than diamonds if you have a fit there. And if you bid, the problem of bidding 3 diamonds is your partner might bid, say, I don't know what, 4 diamonds or 3 no trump, and then it's very hard for you to know where to go from there. So I think just a quiet 2 diamonds is better there. 3 diamonds, jumping a new suit is really more suitable when you really want to define the trump suit yourself. But here, that's not the case. So I think a 2 diamond bid is will reveal more about your partner's hand.
Tony, what about a splinter bid?
Oh yeah, well, I did put that in as an option of, I did put in an option of 4 clubs, which no one chose. The problem is you don't really know you've got a fit in hearts here. Is that or are you thinking after the 2 heart bid?
No, you'd look for a fit in hearts first, would you?
Yeah,
I mean, it looks to me like you've got a fit in hearts. You could also do Jacoby, I guess, too.
Yeah, but you don't know you have a fit in hearts. Your partner's open 1 heart, so you've only got 3. They may only have a 4-card suit, so you can't really use a splinter bid because that would imply you're playing in hearts, and you don't know that yet.
Okay.
And you can't really bid 2 no trump either. Well, you wouldn't do that anyway, but for the same reason, you don't really know about the fit in heart. So you just make a quiet bid of 2 diamonds, try and find out more about your partner's hand, and then you'll be in a better position to decide the final contract. And this hand, the east hand here, is a very good one for using Blackwood because you'll find out about the missing aces, and as long as it doesn't matter which of the aces is missing. So this is ideal for Blackwood when you just want to find out about the number of missing aces. Let's have a look at another one. First of all, let's have a think about the bidding here. Well, what should West open with this hand? It's only 19 points, but I think you want to be in game on this hand. I think if you can find a fit in either of your majors, well, you're probably only going to lose 1 club and 1 heart, and you probably want to be in 4 hearts or 4 spades. So even though this is below the normal 23 points for an opening 2 club bid, that's what I would bid on this hand. I'll bid 2 clubs on this hand because I want to be in game. Your partner responds, say, 2 diamonds, and then you go ahead and start bidding your suits. Again, there's no need to jump here. Your 2 club created a game forcing auction, so your partner cannot pass 2 spades. Now you bid 2 spades. Let's suppose they bid 3 clubs, so they can't really support you in spades. That 2 spade bid should show at least 5 cards in your spade suit, but they bid 3 clubs, so that bid actually shows some points because they could have bid 2 no trump, which would show a really double negative hand with 0 to 2 points. So they're showing a few points there, at least 3 points and not more than 7. So because of that 2 diamond bid. So they're showing something there. Well, you still don't know where you're headed here. So what you should do is just bid your second suit, bid 3 hearts here. And you're telling your partner, I've got these 2 suits, please, can you support one of them? And let's suppose they bid 4 hearts. So here we are, we found some kind of fit in hearts, and my partner's got at least 3 points over there. So this is the kind of hand where I think I want to use Blackwood now. I want to make sure, I don't want to bid a slam in case we're missing 2 aces here. So I'll bid 4 no trump. And if my partner bids 5 diamonds, that shows 1 ace. And whichever ace it is, it should be okay. It should be okay to bid a small slam. And we're going to bid 6 hearts here because we seem to have the best fit in hearts rather than spades. And this could well be your hand. Here I've given your partner a very poor hand indeed, but they do have 1 ace. And with that ace, you should be able to make 6 hearts here. I hope you can see that your only loser there is probably going to be the ace of hearts. And the spades, even if they don't set up, which they probably won't, you'll be able to rough those, which will eventually set up the trick. Probably roughing once 1 spade will probably set up that suit. So here's an example. Yes, it's only 23 points, but because of the great shape you have, that should be enough to be in 6 hearts. Any comments or questions? So just to reiterate, what I see people doing on hands like this is West, for example, bid spades and they end up in a 6 spade contract, which will not probably do as well. In 6 spade, you're quite likely to lose a spade as well as a heart. And the other thing I see people do is they jump to maybe 3 spades or 4 spades, and then they miss out on the chance to be in a slam. Okay, here's the second, actually the final poll question of the afternoon. Your partner here has opened 1 no trump, showing a balanced hand with 12 to 14 points. And the poll question for you is, what do you think he should respond here? So have a little think. And in a moment, I'm going to launch the second poll. I'm going to share the results with you. And the majority here have gone for 6 no trump, 50%, with 39% going for 4 no trump. 1 person said 3 diamonds, and 1 person said something else. The person who said something else, would you like to tell us what you think it should be?
4 clubs for Gerber.
Gerber, I see. Okay. So let's look at this one. Your partner's got at least 12 points, 12 to 14. So you have a combined 33 points here. And this is a kind of hand based on the fact that you have at least 33 up to 35 points that you should really just go to 6 no trump yourself. You know, in fact, those of you who are worried about missing aces, that with 33 combined points, you can't be missing 2 aces. So the best bid here is definitely to just go to 6 no trump here. You have a fairly balanced hand. I probably wouldn't even bother to mention the diamond suit. Your partner should have a fairly balanced hand, and hopefully this will be a good contract for you. Your partner may well have something like this, a minimum hand, say, but I hope you can see, looking at the hands together, that you want to be in 6 no trump there. You're probably just going to lose perhaps 1 trick to the king of diamonds, but the rest of the diamond should be good, and you should be able to make 12 tricks there. I'm not going to try and ask about aces on this one, because with 33 combined points, we know we're not missing 2 aces. So that's the idea of why with 33 or more points, you don't worry about Blackwood or Gerber.
Sorry, Tony, when would you make a quantitative?
Well, I'm just coming up to that.
Oh, you're coming up to that one. Okay.
So let's have a look at this hand, but perhaps this will address Jill's question. So suppose this hand is just a couple of points weaker. Your partner has opened 12 to 14, 1 no trump. So you're not quite sure if you've got enough for a slam here. Now, some people with this hand, and this is a mistake, will think that, well, maybe I should use Blackwood here to find out about aces. Let's suppose you have decided that you and your partner are going to play Blackwood in this situation, which is a mistake, and you bid 4 no trump. Okay. And suppose your partner now responds 5 diamonds. That shows 1 ace. And now you're in a real pickle because you probably like to stop in 5 no trump now because you're missing 2 aces. But there's no way you can stop in 5 no trump. If you bid 5 no trump, that is now asking for kings, which is not what you want at all. So you're in a complete mess here because you tried to use Blackwood in this situation. What should you bid with this hand? Well, the correct bid with this hand is 4 no trump, but 4 no trump in direct response to 1 no trump or 2 no trump is not Blackwood and is invitational or quantitative to 6 no trump. So how should the bidding go on this one? Well, you should bid 4 no trump here, and that is inviting your partner to go on to 6 no trump. And here your partner has got a minimum hand, 12 points, and should pass. And you would end up in 4 no trump, which I hope you can see is going to be a very good contract. You're never going to make 6 because you're missing 2 aces, as it turns out. Okay, so that's what that's when 4 no trump is not Blackwood. By the way, if your partner had a stronger hand here, say here I've changed their hand to be 14 points. Now you again bid 4 no trump, and they would accept the invitation and go to 6 no trump, which I hope you can see should be a good contract here. You're just missing the ace of clubs, but apart from that, you should be able to make 12 tricks on that one. So that's...
Tony, where would Gerber get you with that hand?
Sorry?
Where would Gerber get you with that hand?
No, nowhere. Well, so if you bid Gerber, you would be able to sign off in 5 no trump. Yeah. So if you bid or even 4 no trump. Yeah. So if you bid Gerber 4 clubs on this hand, your partner would show you 2 aces, and you'd be able to stop in 4 no trump. So it would be better on this occasion. However, what you really want to find out on this hand is not how many aces your partner has, but whether they're minimum or maximum. So I don't recommend using Gerber on this hand either, because it doesn't really tell you what you want to know. You want to know whether your partner's more like 12 or more like 14 points. So
sorry, it's me again. I understand quantitative, but I can't see when one would use Gerber in that case.
Well, we are going to have an example using Gerber later.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
That will answer it. So
I was just sorry, Tony, can I just ask, if you've got the middle, not 13 points in that 1 no trump opening, is there any way of evaluating the hand to...
Yeah, I mean, then you would look at whether you had a good feature. For example, the West hand here has got 3 10s in it, which is good. Or if you had, like a nice 5-card minor, perhaps, that could be a source of tricks, that we would upgrade it. So yeah, with 13 points, you'll need to use your judgment. So 4 no trump then is normally used as Blackwood, but it is not used as Blackwood in direct response to an opening 1 no trump or 2 no trump bid. And the way I like to try and remember this is to think about 33 as what you need for a small slam. So that means that 1 no trump, 6 no trump should show at least 21 points. And if you're a couple of 1 or 2 points below that, 19 or 20, then you invite the slam by bidding 4 no trump. And similarly, if 2 no trump, 6 no trump, because 2 no trump shows a minimum of 22, that must show 13 points to jump to 6 no trump. And then if you have 1 or 2 points below that, say 11 or 12, then you invite the slam with 4 no trump. So I like to play that 4 no trump is Blackwood but not in direct response to an opening 1 no trump or 2 no trump. In those situations, it should be quantitative. So here's an example of that when your partner opens 2 no trump here, and you know that shows 20 to 22. This is the kind of hand where with 12 points, you want to make a quantitative or invitational bid of 4 no trump. And here your partner has a minimum hand, and they should pass. And you will observe here that you actually have all the aces and all the kings between you. But this was a hand that was played a while ago from when we were playing face-to-face bridge. And nearly everyone with this hand got to 6 no trump, and no one made it. Most people went down 2. If you count your tricks, you've got what, 4 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And most people went down in 6 no trump. So, you know, even though you've got all the aces and all the kings, that doesn't mean you're going to make 6 no trump here. Okay. So if West had a slightly stronger hand, here I've given them 2 more points, then they should accept the invitation and go to 6 no trump. And 6 no trump should be should make here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You've got 12 top tricks in 6 no trump there. Okay, so don't you know, assume that if you've got all the aces or even all the aces and all the kings, you can make a slam. It's not so, I'm afraid. What about this one? Here your partner has opened 1 no trump, and with 19 points, you should realize that especially with that very good shape you have, you should be thinking in terms of a slam here. Now, this is not a time to make a quantitative bid, such as 4 no trump. What you want to find out on this hand is how many aces your partner has. I hope you can see that if you can find out how many of the missing 3 aces your partner has, you have a very good chance to decide whether to go for a slam or not. You really want them to have 2 aces. If they do have 2 aces, you're probably going to bid 6 hearts. So you don't want to be bidding 4 no trump here, because that would be invitational, that would be quantitative. So how do you bid this hand? Well, there are a few ways, and I'm going to show you different ways of bidding this hand. One is to just start by jumping to 3 hearts. So that's a traditional way you would bid this hand if you are not playing transfers, or even if you are playing transfers. There is an advantage in bidding this way, because you'll find out it's sometimes used a jump here rather than transfers on a hand where you're looking for a slam. So 3 hearts here shows at least a 5 card heart suit. Let's suppose your partner responds 3 no trump, or they might respond 4 hearts if they have 3 or more hearts. But either way, now you want to find out how many aces your partner has. So now you launch into Blackwood. And if your partner shows 5 hearts, that shows 2 aces, then you should be pretty confident that you can be in 6 hearts. And this is the kind of hand you're hoping your partner has. I hope you can see that with 2 of the missing aces, you should only lose 1 trick, 1 diamond at worst, and the rest of your, you should easily make 12 tricks there. Any comments on that?
Yes, Tony, it's Fiona. If you were using Roman key cards,
Yeah.
Is it hearts that you're assuming?
It would be hearts.
Even though West hasn't actually agreed them?
Yes, yes. So
Yeah,
it's the last bid suit, it would be hearts. And another question I'm sometimes asked on a hand like this is, what if your partner showed 3 aces, which is just about possible, having opened 1 no trump? Well, then I think I can count all the tricks, can't I? If my partner's got the 3 missing aces, I can count 13 tricks. I can count 4 clubs, 1 diamond, 6 I can have 4 clubs, 1 diamond, 6 hearts, and 2 spades. So there, I would bid 7. So I recommend you don't bid a grand slam unless you can count 13 tricks. And you could bid 7 hearts, or you could even bid 7 no trump, because you should be pretty confident you can count 13 tricks if your partner had 3 aces. But if they only have 2 aces, of course, you'll just stop in 6 hearts. There are other ways you can bid this hand. You can use transfers on it, bidding 2 diamonds as a transfer to hearts, and then jumping to 4 no trump. There are some people who like to play that 4 no trump as quantitative, and so you do, if you have an established partnership, you need to be careful of that. But here you want to find out about aces just as before. So you start by bidding something else. Don't bid 4 no trump directly, by bidding another bidding sequence, so that 4 no trump now goes back to being Blackwood. And again, you'll be in 6 hearts there. And this hand is also suitable for a convention someone mentioned earlier, Gerber, because again, what you really want to find out on this hand is how many aces your partner has. So you can bid 4 clubs over 1 no trump here. And if your partner bids 4 spades, that shows how many aces. Well, I always think diamonds is the next suit up, that shows 0, heart shows 1, spade shows 2. So here you've got just 1 missing ace, and you will be confidently bidding 6 hearts here. Okay, so you can use Gerber, and it's an alternative to Blackwood. I've got this page that summarizes when it's what the responses are. But nowadays it's not really popular to use Gerber except in direct response to 1 no trump or 2 no trump. And that's because the 4 club bid can be used for other meanings, like a Q bid or a splinter bid. But if you're never going to use it as a Q bid or splinter bid, some partnerships may want to use Gerber in other situations as well. But what I'm teaching you here is sort of more standard, and only to use Gerber in direct response to 1 no trump or 2 no trump. In other cases, and use Blackwood in the others, and use 4 no trump Blackwood in direct response to 1 no 2 no trump, not as ace asking, but as a quantitative or invitational bid.
Tony, it's Fiona again.
Hello, Fiona.
Yes. In your opinion, which is better, to use Gerber or to jump to 3 of your, if it's a major, 3 of your suit?
I don't know. I've never been a fan of Gerber, and I think you can probably go your whole bridge life never using it. So, but I mean, on this particular hand, it works out fine either way. I mean, the advantage of Gerber in some bidding situations is it does keep the auction lower, so you're able to stop lower if your partner, say on this one, if your partner only showed 1 ace, 4 hearts, you could stop in 4 hearts and you wouldn't be playing in 5 hearts. So it does have that advantage. But I don't know if it, I think you can play your bridge without using Gerber, but if you like it, then that's fine. I think it's up to you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Let's end the talk there now, except to ask if anyone needs a partner for the game coming up. And I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. And I can see a raised hand there from Ruth Bluston.
I also need a partner.
Yeah, and I do too,
So
Tony.
we've got Jill, and who else was it? Sorry.
Berta.
Berta, yes. Anyone else? Raise your hand or unmute yourselves. Okay. Would you, is there anyone, so we've got Ruth, Jill and Berta. Would any of you like to play together? I'll, if you wish to speak, go ahead. I think I played with you last week, Jill, didn't I?
Sorry?
Didn't I play with you last week?
No, you found me somebody.
Oh, right.
at the- yes, I think you did.
I found
It
someone for you,
was,
yeah.
Roma, I think.
Yeah.
Roma came along.
Anyone
Yeah.
else would like to, would either of you like to play with anyone? Well, Jill, if I wasn't able to play with you last week, perhaps I can play with you this week.
Okay.
And if Berta and Ruth, if you want to play together, if that's all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, see you on the table. Join the table. There may
Okay.
be other people who need partners, and in that
Okay.
case, again, I'll stand you up, Jill.
Okay. that's okay. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you very
see you all
much. I'll
later.
see you there. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.